Well, Angelo here of Landross Realty. Thank you all for tuning in with the June 2022 Cherrybrook property market update. And I'll tell you what, I've been looking forward to this one. With all the negative media hype out there at the moment, it's a lot to get through. But what I will start off by saying is, for those of you that have been following my videos, you'll notice if you go back to the February 2022 Cherrybrook property market update. So, that was 2 months before interest rates had increased and inflation had taken place. I had forecast for inflation to hit, close to 10% by the end of this year, which seemed crazy, right? But, at the time of recording that video, we're sitting at 3.5%. Now we're at present, we're sitting at 5.1%. And the RBA Governor, Philip Lowe, is forecasting, the latest article I read, he's forecasting for it to hit 7%. So it's edging closer to what I predicted. And, it's interesting. I mean, what I'll get to now is we'll discuss how all this, now with the interest rate, the RBA's official cash rate sitting at 1.35%, it's gone up 0.5 points. To see how this transpires and what that's actually doing in the Cherrybrook property market. So just wanted to make mention, because I mean, when you look at that, there's so much more to the economy. There's a host of macroeconomic policies that really are in play here. There's more than just inflation and interest rates that at play. But I guess as mainstream media likes to do, right, it just harp on the negative because fear sells. And let's see if that fear is transpiring into, bad news in the Cherrybrook property market. And just another quick mention that before I get into things as well, what I did want to say is you'll notice, up there, we've got a new logo. So if you see the new logo floating around, that's us. We thought we'd give it a fresh new change, make it look more corporate. Love to hear what you think in comparison to the logo we had before. So if you see that floating around, that's us. It's nobody trying to copy us. Just going for a fresh new look. Hope you like it. If you don't, love your feedback. Can't change it, but anyway. So let's get straight into it. So for June 2022, there were 6 registered home sales. The median amongst those home sales was sitting at 2,188,000. The highest sale was sitting at 2.5 million, and the average days on market was sitting at 50. Now, if we compare this to June 2021, so we go back a year, there were 9 registered home sales. The median amongst those home sales were 2,001,000 to be precise. The highest sale was sitting at 2.4 million, and average days on market was 17. So again, we can see that sales volumes remain relatively low, with only 6 registered home sales for this month and 5 registered home sales for May 2022. And 3 home sales down in comparison to June 2021. Now, the median price for home sales is up 9.35% from this time last year and is down 7.4% from last month being May. Now, the average days on market, as I just touched on before, we're currently sitting at 50 compared to 27 days last month. So that's almost doubled. So we go to the auction results. Auction results for June 2022, there were only 6 registered auctions. 1 had sold at auction. Obviously, nothing had sold prior, and the remainder had either passed in or withdrawn. So clearly, auctions are not the way to go in the current economic climate. No surprises there, which gives us an auction clearance rate of 16.6%. So the auction clearance rates are down 4.8% from May 2022 from last month's recording. However, it is worth noting that there were only 6 scheduled auctions for this month compared to 17 in May. So I guess you could say that a lot of the Cherrybrook residents have woken up to the fact that, auctions aren't the way to go. So the other thing worth noting is current stock levels in Cherrybrook. So when I checked yesterday, being the 5th of July, 2022, there's currently 20 homes publicly listed for sale. So I'm not including townhouses, duplexes, or anything of the sort. So that pretty much, that's it in a nutshell as far as information is concerned. So what does this information tell us, and how does this translate with all the doom and gloom we're hearing in the media out there? Well, as an owner of Cherrybrook, you're in very good stead. And what this data is clearly showing is yes, Cherrybrook homes are taking much longer to sell, almost twice as long as they were in May 2022. And obviously the days on market have accumulated. It's not just a result of May, this has been brewing. And sales volumes remain low, meaning that most Cherrybrook residents are not feeling the pinch of the pressure of inflation and the interest rate rises. So, you know, the owners here are weathering the storm quite comfortably. And again, this sort of stands true to what I had forecast back in February, where despite, you know, my prediction of the 10% inflation and the rising nature of interest rates, we weren't going to see the stress sales here. So, you know, just to sort of put that in perspective, when you are looking at the sales volumes, what you would expect to see in an economy or a market that's struggling is a high rate of sales with a drastic decline in sale prices, right? Where sellers sort of taking whatever they can get because they need to get out. It's not happening here. So, you know, the low sales volumes, the increased days on market, and, you know, still strong sales results for those few that have sold are key indicators that the Cherrybrook property market is still performing well. You know, and if you're looking to buy in Cherrybrook, you know, I guess the best advice I can give is, you know, if you're looking to shop a bargain in this suburb, it's not the suburb to do so. And, you know, to be honest, would you want to buy in a suburb where bargains are there to be had? You know, you're not buying in a stable suburb, right? You're going to buy in a suburb that's rather fickle and up and down like a yo-yo, which Cherrybrook isn't, never has been, and, you know, don't know what the future holds. But at this point in time, it's certainly not looking that way. So I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Just off the top of my head, there was something else I wanted to mention, but it seems to have slipped my mind. I haven't got it on my notes here. I'll let it come back to me. Bear with me. That hasn't come back to me. But look, what I'll do, if I do remember what it was I was going to say, I'll put it in the comment section in the YouTube video. I'll also have a breakdown of this data in the YouTube in the comment section. And again, if you have any questions or would like to discuss anything further with me, there are the details there. Come visit me in the office, give me a call. Love to speak with you. But all in all, it's now it came back to me. That's what I was going to say. The other thing, I mean, look, the fact that the RBA has lifted the interest rates and obviously the inflation we're seeing. So, you know, like I said, we're sort of seeing a bit of a food and an energy crisis at the moment, right? You know, the lifting of interest rates isn't such a bad thing, right? This is actually a very good thing, right? Because our economy is, you know, broadly speaking, is still performing quite well. You know, we're able to do that. And, you know, we're not seeing, you know, the mortgagee sales, we're not seeing, you know, people are still going out to restaurants, businesses are still trading, everything seems to be ticking along just nicely. So, you know, what you don't want is eventually interest rates, we're going to have to go up sooner or later. And, you know, throughout the period of time, you know, people who have sort of set payments to pay off their home repayments, you know, have done so with low interest rates. So we've really been able to attack that principle over the course of time. So we've really had a really good run. So, you know, what this means is after this period's over, right, we've still got the interest rate lever we can use to really get things pumping again if they want to. So this is another point worth mentioning. So just to reiterate what I said, there's more to property markets and economy as a whole than just interest rates and inflation. You know, they're just offshoots of things that are happening in the background, but, you know, in amongst that is, you know, a lot of positivity. We haven't even spoken about the immigration. We haven't even spoken about the shortfall, the housing supply crisis. We haven't spoken about, you know, the high demand for rentals. There's a rental crisis, right? There's very low stock levels there. So there's so much happening in and around that, you know, you've really got to take the time to research. And I haven't even scraped the surface. But again, you know, that's a conversation for another day. I don't want to bore you. I think I've taken up enough of your time. But as I said, going back to what I said before, any questions, feel free to contact me. Angelo of Lambros Realty. I hope you enjoyed this, and I look forward to seeing what July brings us. Okay, thank you for watching.